Hey, Mama. How are you? It's been crazy. Crazy.
It I feel like since becoming a stay-at-home mom, my life is busier than it ever was when I was working full time.
But you also have three now. So
That's true.
so you have a
Speaking of,
story today. I have a story today. Let's get
okay,
into it.
okay.
Just two moms on a mission to comprehension.
Speaking of, do you hear the banging on my door?
Do you hear mine?
You have it going on. What happened?
So, couple things. First of all, today is organized Ezra's Playroom Day, and I am not having a good time.
Oh, that's on my list of things to do.
His Legos are all destroyed, and he's at the point now where he's like, I'm too old for Duplos, so I want like the little Legos, and then he destroys them and then doesn't know how to put them back together.
Yeah.
So I'm like in the process of trying to go through all these little Lego pieces and put them back together. Hi.
Hi, Ezra.
Hi.
Hi, buddy. Are you officially 4?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah.
Yay. What was your favorite present?
The Transformer one.
Oh, that is a good present. And you also got a police car, didn't you?
Yeah.
And a police policeman uniform?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, buddy.
Okay, so we made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
It's not funny, but it's funny. So the other day we found a caterpillar outside. And I was like, "Oh, Ezra, come on, come look at the caterpillar." So we see the caterpillar, and I'm like, "Let's catch him and see if he'll turn into a chrysalis and then a butterfly or maybe a moth." And so we capture him, and I put him in a little jar with some leaves. And I read that it was like, you don't even have to put a lid on it because they kind of just stay in. If there's leaves there, they're just kind of just going to stay on that branch or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I just, put him somewhere, and then I left it outside because I'm like, outside is his habitat.
Right.
And then it rained.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
And I totally forgot we had a caterpillar out there.
Defenseless in a jar.
There was like 3 inches of rain water.
Oh.
And and on top of that, I completely forgot that I put this out there and it rained. Like, I didn't think anything of it.
Sure, of course not.
And I'm like, Ezra, let's go check on the caterpillar.
Oh, no.
And we go, and I'm like, ooh. And I was like, well, Ezzy, and I like show him the thing, and he's like, oh, he's in there. And I'm like, yeah, yep, he's in there. And he goes, I was like, I don't think he's alive anymore. And he goes, he drowned it.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh God.
You found it.
I was like, oh no. And then he goes, I said it was the rain. He goes, I think the clouds are sorry that they rained. And I was like, yeah, I think they're sorry too. I also think mommy is sorry for not thinking correctly.
Okay, so we've all had like those. I did it once with tadpoles. Like, I had them in a bucket and we were going to watch them or whatever. And I didn't take into consideration that like the water would evaporate and I would need to add more water. And then I don't remember if the water evaporated or maybe if it was like in full sun and just like got way too hot. But either way, the tadpoles did not survive. And I felt really bad about it.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. I mean, now I feel bad because, it is a living creature.
And you did it. Like, that's the part that makes you feel bad. If you just found like a dead caterpillar, it'd be like, oh, that's nature. But like, when it's like, let me take you from your happy home,
right,
and put you in a jar.
Okay, wait. He wasn't in a happy home. He was on the side of the house, so he wasn't even on leaves.
I mean, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, like, for me, that's
the part that makes me
feel bad is like when I interfere and then it goes awry.
Yeah, I know. You're blaming me. You're like, you killed it, girl. You killed it.
Well, I mean, I would have done the same thing. I mean, I actually have like a net mesh caterpillar container. So I would have brought it in my house and
Yeah, I
done
don't
that.
have one
But
of
I
those.
certainly wouldn't have brought an open jar into my house. Absolutely not. So given the scenario you found yourself in, I would have done what you did and left it outside in no lid on it, assuming it could get out if it needed to.
Right, right.
So,
but I am thinking like maybe the caterpillar. I'm like trying to make myself feel better. Maybe it wasn't like that good anyway because I found him on like the side of the house. Like he was barely
it
like.
sounds like maybe he was
walking.
like not, the strongest of his species. So I think, yeah, you didn't kill him. Because he could have gotten out. I assume, unless they can't crawl up glass.
I don't. Well, it wasn't even. Yeah, I mean, he was on a little like branch.
Oh, so he was just sick already. He just wouldn't have made it. He would have died in that rain anyway. He would have drowned in a puddle.
Thanks for making me feel better.
See, that's where you and I are different. And you're probably handle it better. But I would have been like, oh, he just went for a swim. He's just sleeping. Like, but here's why. So when I was little, we lived on a lake. And we moved from there when I was 5. So this had to have been younger than 5. At the same time, I vividly remember it. So I think they say you can't remember before like 3. So between the ages of 3 and 5, probably closer to 5, I was outside. And we had frogs, we had ducks, we had all those things because we lived literally on a lake.
Yeah.
And I found this little baby frog, tiny little baby frog. And I thought, oh, this little baby frog needs its mommy. And so I caught it and gave it to the mommy frog, what I believe to be the mommy frog. And she ate it. Oh, no. And I felt horrific. I felt terrible.
She was like, thanks for dinner.
I know a little 5-year-old, you know, who, like, I love animals, like, all animals. So I was devastated. I remember telling my mom, and she, who also loves animals, but, loves little hearts, including that of a broken-hearted 5-year-old, said, oh, no, that's how mommy frogs carry their babies. Oh. And I knew she wasn't telling me the truth. Like, I knew it was suspect, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah. That happened to me. That happened to me too when I was a kid. My dad had like this really huge fish tank, and one of the like clownfish was mine. This was before Nemo, And right. I loved that little clownfish. He was like my little clownfish, and I'd watch him like go through. And one time my dad fell asleep on the couch, and I was just watching the fish tank, and I'm like, something's not right with my fish. And he's like starting to like do the whole float to the top thing, not swimming very well. Well, my dad also had an eel inside of that fish tank. And the eel, I watched the entire thing. I watched the eel eat my clownfish. And it was this thing of like like my clownfish, but also like, whoa.
Right.
Like, wow, that's crazy. If you've ever seen an eel eat a fish, it was like nodding to like, so think about like how a snake would eat something whole, but like you're floating in water, so like how do you do that? So like it to push it down and like not, it was just the craziest looking thing. And then it was gone. And then my dad woke up and I was like, hey, your eel ate my clownfish. He's like, no, it didn't. And I'm like, yeah, it did. He's like, no. I'm like, I watched the whole thing, like I ain't crazy. And he's like, I'm like, go find my clownfish, go look for my clownfish. He's like, where's your clownfish? What'd you do with it? I'm like, I'm telling you, the eel ate it.
How long did they live together in peace?
Oh gosh,
a while.
Yeah,
a
while.
So maybe the eel, because you said the clownfish was already starting to like slow down and act weird. So that's probably just the nature of
that eel was like,
he wasn't fast enough anymore to get away.
Oh, that too. Or the eel was just
spent
like
his entire life in fear, swimming away from this eel until finally he just didn't have it left.
Yeah, or the eel was like, I've been waiting for this moment.
That's right. Finally.
Yes.
Oh, the ways that we cause our children to need therapy as adults.
Yeah, so that's my story. What's your
Okay.
topic?
Well, I was just thinking, okay, so my parents have been out of town for 2 weeks. My mother-in-law has been out of town. I'm a stay-at-home mom who homeschools. And my reprieve is every week my parents will take my children, the little ones, overnight for like 1 or 2 nights. And those days without my kids are my days to do things like this, to record, to clean, to go to the doc, anything that I need to do, anything I need to actually like accomplish.
Which is nice.
And it is nice. And I am very aware that there are mothers out there who don't get that. Now, not all of them homeschool.
Right.
But that break every week is like what keeps me being a good mom. And so I haven't had it. So my house is disgusting because I can't get anything done with these 2 kids. If I deep clean one room, every other room in the house is torn apart. I can barely get laundry done because I get distracted and then it stays in the wash and now it's got to be washed. Like just this whole thing.
And so it's like 2 weeks now? It's been 2 weeks now?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Really?
So 2 weeks without my house being like deep cleaned. So with a dog, 2 cats, I'm fostering kittens,
That's
kids,
right. Yeah.
a husband who works as a police officer. So 12-hour shifts, an hour and a half away. So he's gone 15 hours a day. The rest of the time he's sleeping. So it's a lot. So my thought was like, what do people do? We're coming up to summer. And what do, a lot of people are going to be home with their kids.
I always thought that too. Like as a teacher, I never have to worry about like, oh, what do I do with my kids in the summer? Like they're with me because I have summers off. But I know of families and they go to those camps. Like they pay for camps and they are.
That's what I did with Parker when he was little. This one wasn't. It was like a day camp. So when I was a single mom with him, I lived in South Florida for a while. So I didn't have my parents or anybody around. So in the summer, I would send him to like day camp. And it was pretty much like, I don't even remember if it was through the school or I think it was through the city or something. But they would watch him during the day. That's what I did there. And then once I moved here, of course, I had my parents, but after school care, just things like that. I mean, there are programs out there, but for some people, they're just going to be home with their kids and spend a lot more time with their kids. So how are those parents going to stay sane? Those parents who are used to having a good 6 hours, 8 hours without their kids there, and all summer long, they're going to have their kids near them. So,
I don't think they are. Have you seen those videos of those women? Like the one of the mom that's like, What supplies do you need? What do you need? I'm getting it all for you. Like, just take my kids back.
What we do to get through summer is, I think a schedule helps. And I'm not a schedule person, but just like having a schedule helps. So you get up and you do your breakfast or you do
continue the schedule that you normally do.
Yes. Outside play. Have you noticed the giant hole in my backyard?
I haven't seen the giant hole in your backyard, but I think backyard. But I think you did tell me that you make it a mud pit sometimes.
Yes. So this mud pit hasn't been touched. They haven't been out. They don't go out in the winter because part of the fun of it is like water and stuff. So they haven't been out there playing regularly in, many months. And this is still, it's like a crater in my yard. I mean, fill it in and, it would be the size of 3 or 4 hot tubs.
Oh my gosh.
It's not quite a pool, but it's 20 feet across.
Just filled with mud.
6 feet deep. It's just a hole. And they go out there. So they just get the hose and they fill it up and it doesn't stay full because it just soaks into the ground.
Oh,
but when they're out there playing, that's why we call it the mud pit. It's because when they're out there playing, it's like a pool. And they just play in that mud. They are head to toe covered. We stay out there for hours. And then we go in. The next day we go out and do it again. But this crater is so big and deep that even after months of it not regularly being played in, there's still no grass. There's nothing. Like, it is still there because they did it. It looks like we're going to have a pool out there.
That's fun though. We have a dirt pile. When I did my pavers on the side, I had this big dirt pile and I was like, I got to get this dirt out of here. And then Ezra started playing with it with his excavators and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. I'm just going to leave that quote unquote, leave it there because Ezra likes to play with it when it's really, I just didn't want to pick it up. So when people come over like, oh, that's Ezra's dirt pile.
Pile. Yeah.
Those are those excavators.
Another thing I just signed up for is called Kids Bowl Free. And I think they do it all over the country. Different bowling alleys. But I think it's like 15 and under. You can sign your kids up. And every day throughout the summer, there's like a time block where you can take your kids and they get to bowl a free game. So the bowling alley's like 10 minutes from us. And now if you want a family pass so that you can bowl or older kids can bowl or something, that's an extra fee. I'm not doing that.
I could bowl if you put the little gutters up with the kids do.
Yeah, I'm not a good bowler. I don't really love bowling. I never have. But I thought, well, that'll be good for the kids just to get them out of the house. So that starts tomorrow, May 1st. I think it's May 1st through August. So Kids Bowl Free.
Kids Bowl Free. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
I mean, Ezra has this summer. You sound like such a fun mom. And I'm like, Ezra has swim lessons.
We did that last year. And we really need to do it again.
He's done that every summer since one or maybe even before one. I can't even think.
Is he a prolific swimmer yet? Or no?
So
because what I learned is swim lessons and then like it's letters.
Survival swim or whatever.
Yeah, are two different things. So I thought swim lessons were going to like teach him how if you fall in the pool to get out. No, swim lessons are very much.
They do both, which is great.
We have not got to that part yet. I mean, we got to the whole like, get to this side of the pool or whatever. But like the actual emergency thing, by the end of it, in order to graduate, they throw them in fully clothed, heavily clothed, like jackets and shoes and all that. Throw them in. Not throw them in, but you know what I mean. They go in
there, to the Sparta kick
over their heads, fully clothed, and have to get themselves out.
Right.
Which is what I want. I want to know that my kid, if they found himself in a scary situation, would, know how to get out.
The place that I go through, I kind of made sure about that because that kind of like, to me, it feels kind of traumatizing to like throw your kid in like that. I know they train them and everything. But these people, what they do is they say, okay, most of the time when a kid falls in the pool, they're at the edge of the pool because they're trying to grab something. So they teach them when they fall in the pool to turn around and grab the wall and get out. Or you can grab the wall and then crab walk to the stairs. Okay. So they teach them how to do that instead of like, we're just going to throw you in the pool. Because, I mean, it makes sense. They're like, if they're going to be near the wall if they fall in, they're not going to like fall in the middle of the pool. Right. So that's, so yeah, if he were to fall in, he would know what to do. He would know that he has to turn around and grab the wall. Then he's really great at swimming. But my problem, and they've taught him very well. He doesn't like to float. That's the one thing they do the floating. Yeah. He hates it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He hates floating. Like he will sit there and be like, no, like screeming. And I'm like, dude, just relax. They tell us not to put the arm floaties on him. Actually, they prefer to not wear floaties at all when they're outside of swim lessons. But he doesn't stop. He will jump in, get out, jump in, get out, jump in, until he's completely out of breath, practically drowning because he just won't calm down. So I still have to put the floaties on him, even though, if he were to fall in without the floaties, he would know what to do. But if we're like at the pool for several hours, I have to put them on him because he doesn't know when to stop.
Right.
And he won't roll over and breathe and float and breathe like they tell him to. But that's my life for pretty much all summer, Monday
But
through
that's good though,
Thursday.
because it gets the energy out. It gets you out of the house. There's the free movies. A lot of movie theaters will do free movies once a week.
I've seen those. Yeah.
You have to be really. Here's the thing with those. I don't know if you sign up ahead of time or if you just have to get there. But last year, most of the days that our theater played the movies fell on the days that my mom would have the kids. But there was one day that I had them. And so I thought, let's do this. And we got there. And I got there several minutes early. And it was all like busloads of kids were there. And they were already, both theaters were completely sold out.
Because those summer camps will go over
Which
there.
makes sense,
and,
you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So neither of my kids have ever been to a movie theater. And my little one, he wouldn't make it.
They haven't been?
No, because they are not. They are not. Daniel, I think, could do it now. But it's got to be something that really gets their interest. They are not sit down and chill for 2 hours kind of kids. Lucas definitely not. And Daniel maybe. Like, so we took him to the drive-in in COVID. Like, our movie theater became a drive-in.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And we did that. And Lucas hated it. He had to be in a car for 2 hours. Daniel lost interest about halfway through. You know.
It has to be something very interesting. Ezra's seen 3 so far.
Really?
And
okay, he likes it.
Yeah, and he sat for, so the first one he ever saw was Buzz Lightyear because he loves Buzz Lightyear. And that one, about 30 minutes to the end, he was asking me like, is it over yet? And I'm like, no.
It's a long time to say. And then does he talk through movies? Because that's the other thing. My kids do not, Daniel especially, does not understand the concept that you cannot talk through a movie. He just can't. He will narrate.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no. Like, but why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Look, I mean, he just can't. He just can't.
He will say some things or ask some things. Yeah. He'll be like, Mommy, why is he doing that? Or whatever. And I'll be like, just watch. But no, like this last movie, but also the last movie we went to, he was tired. So we went to like later in the night so that it's like, and then I think he like didn't take a nap that day as well. So he kind of was just like watching it like, whoa.
Okay.
But he says he loved it. Like when we got out, I mean, he didn't fall asleep. I was like, that boy's going to fall asleep. He didn't fall asleep. Like he watched it. And when we came out, he's like, I liked it. It was the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Okay. We haven't seen that yet. Now that's one that would probably hold my kids' attention because they love Mario.
That's what I'm saying. You got to take them to something that you know they're going to like. So the first one was Buzz Lightyear. The second one was Puss in Boots because it was kitties and he loves kitties. And then this one was Super Mario Brothers. And before we saw it, we showed him that Peaches song. Have you seen that one yet?
Is it Jack Black?
Yes. And he was cracking up.
Aww.
He kept saying again, like he wanted us to show it. He watched it like 4 times because he's cracking up over this video. And then when we were like, you want to go see the movie? He's like, yeah. So we went and saw the movie. And then, of course, he sings the song in the movie. He's like, Mommy, it's my favorite song.
Oh, cute. We might try that one.
So you have a few free things that you know of. So you said free bowling, free movies.
So kids bowl free. The movies, I don't remember who puts that on, but I know just like check your local movie theater. Another fun thing you can do during the summer, like on weekends or something like that. You can do this any time of year. You can make forts in your living room. My kids love that. My kids, anything if you call it a party, they are having fun. So if we have pizza, we're having a pizza party. If we have ice cream, we're having an ice cream party. If we're watching a movie, it's make your fort with your, blankets or whatever and like hang out, turn the lights off, hang out. You can still move them to your room and you get in your, like, we've done that.
Yeah. We've
set up a tent in our living room before and let them sleep in like a small little pup tent. That's a fun thing. we're almost to the point where they could do that. Well, they could. I don't want to sleep in a tent in my backyard. If I'm going to go camping, like I want to go camping, I don't want to sleep in a tent in my backyard. So
that's the only thing I'd probably be willing to do.
really,
It's like,
yeah, but
there's
like,
a bathroom inside.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, my comfy bed, I have a really nice bed and nice sheets and TV, air conditioning.
Yeah, but
So
you sit in your yard and just put the TV out the window, and just watching watching TV that way. Or I'm down for like glamping, but I am not down for camping.
see, I like camping, but to me,
outdoors.
actually, I would prefer camping like just adults. Like to me, camping, like my idea of going camping, I think it would be super fun to go camping, just me and my husband, somewhere
Oh, Lord.
not like without the bathrooms and without all that.
What?
Like,
No, I'm not pooping in a hole.
well, I would need a little privacy, but I've seen where you can take a hula hoop
Oh,
and like
Lord.
get it like a shower curtain and just wrap it on the hula hoop.
Your squatting
so-
power has to be strong.
Well, no, you can get a little bucket and then you can buy a seat. It's a toilet seat that just goes on the bucket.
Oh, God.
Or they make like pop-up tents. So like, because I still want to like take a shower. Because
You ain't taking a shower if you're in the woods. You're gonna have to take a bath in the lake, in the
Well,
stream.
they have equipment, like, you know.
Oh, so you're
realize
talking
if you're-
about a campground of some sort.
No, there's a canoe in campsite that's obviously very private. I think there's like 2 of them you can only get there by canoe. Takes several hours. It's like in Wekiva. There's no bathroom, there's no electricity, there's no fire pit, there's nothing like that. There's no people. You might have people canoeing by you on the stream. But like to go to the bathroom, you're going to either be going in the woods, or the way I would do it, you're going to be, if there was an emergency, someone would have to come in to get you via boat, or there you might be able to hike several hours to get there. I'm not sure. But like this, to me, that sounds like something fun to do with my husband. Like, let's just go. We can run around naked in the woods.
Oh my God.
I mean, doesn't that sound fun?
No, my butt would get
primal
bit.
to me.
My butt would get bit by all the mosquitoes.
I don't know. To me, that sounds like a fun. I don't want to do it every weekend, but I do think, okay, like I would go
naked and afraid
in the woods with my husband, who will protect me. And like, it would be like a fun adventure. There's not a whole lot to do. There's no TV. There's no, say, drink some beer or wine or water. Who cares what? And like, you just grill food, I guess, that you bring in. I don't know. I haven't really thought it through. I just think it would be fun to like be naked in the woods with my husband.
Naked and afraid. Listen.
When I need to get away from my kids, I literally go to the deep woods.
You have to go into the woods. I killed a caterpillar. That's just telling you how good I am with nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy nature. I enjoy hiking. I enjoy those things. I don't enjoy the insane heat here in Florida. So I prefer these things not in Florida. But that's why you'd have to time it right. But all that to say that, there's stuff you can do to make your summers fun and to make these experiences with your kids fun. It goes really fast. There's nothing more true in parenthood, I have found, than that adage that says the days are long, but the years are short. Because as the mother of a little boy who's about to turn 19 in 3 weeks, I can tell you that it is so fast. It is so fast. And gone are the days where he needs me to wipe his butt or make his snack or, walk him into school or do this. He'll never again want to lay in my bed and cuddle me. He'll never again, all these things. And it goes so fast. But with him, I never was just like over it. Because again, he was a very easy child. I was much younger. I had more energy. With these two, I get over it. And it has nothing to do with them. It's just there's more of them.
Yeah.
But I also know how fast it's going to go. It already is. My baby's going to be 4.
I know.
That's my
But when
baby.
I know, like Ezra's 4 now, and
Yeah.
Ernie tried to say something to him. He's like, "You can't do that. You're too little to do that." He's like, "I'm not little. I'm 4 years old." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Excuse me. When did
It
this?"
goes so fast. It goes so fast. I just turned 40 last year, which seems unbelievable because I think anybody who has just turned 40 or is about to turn 40 can tell you, like, I remember when 40 was so old.
When it
And
felt
now I'm
like, oh,
40
yeah.
and I'm literally turning 41 in a month. And I just turned 40.
Right.
And I will be 60 before I know it. And I will be 80 in a couple of blinks, and my kids will be 40. My oldest is halfway there almost. You know what I mean? So it just goes so fast. And I just try to remember that. I saw this great thing on Facebook that I want to share. It's a little more, it was directed about a spouse, and I thought it really resonated with me, but it could be applied to children as well, or anybody in your life, really. But it said, don't, when you want to argue with your spouse, just remember your time with them is limited. No matter what happens in the future, no matter what the plan is, your time with everybody is limited.
Yeah.
And don't spend it fighting or feeling angry towards each other or, doing these things, because there will be a day where one of you wishes you could have those moments back, and you can't. They'll be gone. They'll be forever gone. Your time is limited. Well, recap. Don't put caterpillars in jars.
Oh, God.
And leave them outside unattended to drown. And if you are going to go check on an animal that you've left unattended, maybe check on it first before you bring your kid along.
Or you have a lesson
about drowning. A lesson. Yeah. And this is why
we go to swim classes in the summer.
There you go. And also don't give baby frogs to mommy frogs, because they don't carry them in their mouth. Okay.
Right. And free things to do over the summer.
Free things to do in the summer. That's things awesome. To do, and then appreciate those moments, and just remember they're fleeting. They won't last forever. I promise. Exactly. They won't. Before you know it, you will blink and you will have a 19-year-old kid
that doesn't want to cuddle with you anymore.
Does not want to cuddle. Every once in a while he'll be like, "Hey, Mom, can you make me some eggs?" And I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, what a treat that you asked me to do something for you." Because, he can do everything by himself. Or, he still lives with me, and I'm fortunate enough that we both like scary movies. So on those nights that the little ones are with my parents, we try to make those movie nights and watch a Hitchcock movie or something like that. And that's the extent of the time I get with him. And that's about all he's got the bandwidth for. Because there's more important things in life than your mom when you're 19. So
I know
cherish the moments.
It starts to dwindle. You start to see it even now with Ezra, now that he's 4. I could do it by myself, Mommy. I'm like, but you can't, because I have to do it for you, because you're still my baby.
Yeah. It's hard.
Or he tells me to get out of the bathroom when he's going now. He for sure. Oh, okay. It's official now. He has to go in the stall by himself.
Oh.
Yeah. Mommy, I got it. Lock the stall. Okay. Go on his own.
Good. That's good, though, because I'm not in that place. I still have to stand right there. Still need help. My almost 4-year-old has not even attempted potty training.
I mean, I still have to wipe his butt, because I don't comprehend how they have little T-Rex arms. They don't reach. They can't reach.
It's hard. Yeah. You got to help wipe at first until
I've tried to get his hand back
he
there.
He physically can't.
It doesn't reach.
Yeah. Well, then you'll have to keep doing it or get a bidet.
He loves bidets, so maybe my mom has one.
Okay.
So when he's at Mima's house, he uses Mima's bidet.
Okay, I love it. I love how fancy he is. with his bidet.
His bidet. No, it's one of the, I can get them on Amazon now for like $30. They just attach it to the toilet. Yeah, that's the one she has.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna get one, it's got to be like a pretty one.
Yeah, but it wouldn't fit in mine. Oh, it would probably fit in yours. I'm sure you could find a place. You have a nice big like bathroom. But yeah, I see it now. That it's already like, I don't need you anymore for this, mommy. I don't need you anymore for this.
Goes fast. So enjoy it.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. I'm about to go enjoy it now and go see what he's done with those Legos that I put together.
All right. Good luck with that.
All right.
All right. Well, I will see you next time.
See ya.
Comprehension.
I love you, Mommy.